Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Wise. Today we are looking at a new topic. The name is Gambit play. Okay. What is Gambit? Whenever we sacrifice pawn in the opening, either for more center control or for better development, that is called Gambit. Okay. There are many Gambits. Basic idea is we give up some material and try to gain time. Okay. When the opponent is capturing, say let's say pawn, and he is moving his same piece again, so he is losing the moves. So those moves we will use as an extra development and try to attack him. This game is one of my favorites. I use it for calculation training also. Okay, and it is a game based on the idea of king hunt. Okay, king hunt means when the king is brought out in the open and it gets mated somewhere in the middle or in the opponent's territory. So that is called king hunt. Okay, let's go to the game. E4, E5, NF3, NF6. This is called the Petrov defense, okay, as mentioned here. So this game can also be used as an opening preparation because I will be covering some opening lines later on. That time we will be doing detailed discussion on this gambit. Okay, here white has the gambit move. See, both are attacking the pawns. White is attacking E5 pawn and black is also attacking. So black is using the idea of counter attack. He is not defending this pawn. So white can play the move knight e5, to which knight e4 is a wrong move. We are not getting into that now. When we will discuss Petrov defense, we will look at that in more detail. Right now white plays the move bishop c4. At first it looks like white has just given up the pawn. Okay, because after knight e4, if white plays knight e5 to regain the pawn, black has good move d5. So black center pawn will attack the bishop, knight is well placed. Next move black can develop the bishop or attack the knight and black gets a good position. So white is not trying to basically regain the pawn. Okay, white is giving up the pawn for more development. So now here mostly people suggest me the move castle, okay, or d3, sometimes d4 to open the center and take advantage of this knight. But white has a very good move here. Knight comes to c3. See, one of the basic techniques says that side who is up in material, he tries to exchange pieces. So on the contrary, here white is trying to exchange the pieces. But if you remember the rule which I told you, see, this knight has already moved twice. White says I will exchange your only active piece, which is the knight on e4. And if you take my knight, which happens to be the best move here, then after d into c3, I don't want to take with bc. Okay, d into c3 opens two pieces at a time. Now this bishop's diagonal is opened and the queen's line is opened. See, if it would have been an equal pawn position, white would have played bc3 and got better control of the center. But he has given up a pawn for what? He has given up the pawn for development. So after dc, white is trying to control d5. Now black cannot play d5 and e5 pawn is attacked. White will castle quickly. So this becomes a very interesting position. I will be doing some 2-3 lessons especially on this line later on. Okay. So now let's go to the main game. The game black played an inferior move, knight to c5. See, he moved the same piece again. The piece went back. See, one of the rules says exchange in order not to retreat. So if we are wasting the piece move, it's better to exchange, because after exchanging opponent recaptures and the move is at least ours. So here black has wasted the move. Okay, now white went knight into e5, attacking the f7 pawn. Good part about nc3 is d5 is stopped and now black has to find some way to defend the f7 pawn. So actually incidentally here the only good move is knight e6. Okay, nothing else can support. Queen e7 can either allow bishop f7 check, king d8 and then castle. See, that's an interesting variation. bf7 check, king d8 and castle. Because if queen into e5 now, then rook e1 and queen moves, then re8 would be mate. Checkmate. Okay, so that will be winning for white. So let's see what black played in the game. Black saw that his f7 pawn is attacked. Okay, so he moved the pawn to f6. okay, which happens to be one of the worst moves in the position. Actually it was forced to play knight e6, but here after d4 d5, now white's position will be very good. See, black has only one development and white already has 3, and then after d4 his center is also stronger, so white will get good compensation for the pawn. Black played the move f6 now, and a very interesting thing happened in the game. See, these are very old games, okay, and in the olden days there was the stronger players used to do what? They used to announce checkmate. If they could foresee a mate, they could announce the checkmate. So here white player announced mate in 8 moves from this position, okay. So it is white to play and win, and mate in 8, okay. So let's look at some analysis now. We will compare. The most obvious move is bishop c4, bishop f7 check, k e7, knight d5 check, k d6. See, the moves are all forced, okay. Knight comes to c4 check, king moves to c6, knight b4 check, king b5, and it looks very obvious that after a4 check, king takes b4, c3 would be mate. But here there is a problem. After a4, knight just takes a4, and there is no way to directly or force a mate over there, okay. So white has a very good move over there. Let's see. So white understood that this knight was causing problem, okay. So the knight is the defender. So white started thinking about another move, queen h5, okay. All these calculations we can use for imagination. So suppose we are doing this game at home, we can sit and have this position and try to calculate these moves in our mind and then play them over the board, okay. So that will be useful. If someone is unable to calculate that much, then you can play over these moves now, then come back to this position and then again try to calculate. So that improves the imagination ability of the player, okay. So let's see. White played the move queen h5. Now this queen plays an important role. Now there are two variations. Either black plays g6. This is what he played in the game. We will see now. First move is made. So 7 more moves to go. And there is another line. I will show you the other variation. If king comes to e7, then queen f7 check. Only one place on d6. Knight b5 check. See, white doesn't hesitate to sacrifice the knight because the black king is coming out. King takes the knight. Now queen d5 check. King has only one place. Now here there are many ways to win. White can do d4 check with the bishop, king g4, then bishop e2 check, king h4, and then queen h5 mate. But white played g3 check, k g4, and h3 checkmate. White could play this. This didn't happen in the game. We'll go back to the position and see after g6 what happened. So black played g6 now. After g6 comes bf7, the same idea which we used before. King comes to e7, knight goes to d5 check. See, again king has only place on d6. Knight c4 check. Again the king has only square on c6. Knight b4 check. And now the king has to come to b5. Now we see the idea of the queen on h5. The queen is pinning the knight. Okay, so now comes the move a4 check. So knight is unable to take the pawn on a4. So that is why white started with the move queen h5. Okay, now see, only move king into knight. Okay, now comes c3 check. Okay, king comes to b3. Here people suggest many moves. Knight discovered check. Okay, knight comes to e3, but then black has knight e6 and all, but it's a mate in 1 after queen d1. The simplest queen d1, queen comes back, gives check, and king has no place. Knight can't be taken because of the bishop. a4 is guarded by the rook. b2, c3 are supported by this b2 is supported by the bishop, and c3 is supported by these pawns, and black gets mated. So this is one of my favorite games. I like to show this. It covers so many topics. We see what is how to play in Gambit. We saw the diagonal weakness. We saw the line of Petrov defense. We saw king hunt. So many things covered in just one game. Okay. I hope you are enjoying the channel. Do like, share, and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.